Hello, gorgeous soul. Are you ready for an extreme planetary grand finale? Yes, it's the final season of Neptune in Pisces. All the weird, magical, strange, and absolutely bonkers stuff that's happened in the past 11 years is here, and it's going to be peak. It's going to be more. It's coming to a conclusion that ends in January 2026. On top of that, we've got Pluto direct, a Grand Air Trine, a kite, and a mystic rectangle. What does it mean? Absolute clarity and transformation. Here's your monthly astrology. Aries, you divine warrior, what a month. We got a full moon in your sign. Rah. All of your energy is switched on. You're interested in expressing yourself. You are going to express your power, and you want your relationships to be balanced. Now, obviously, some of that is easier said than done, but certainly there will be huge revelations, magical experiences, and strange happenings. Let's start at the beginning. We have Mercury, the planet of communication, in your opposite sign, squaring Jupiter. There may be some issue or something that you want to transform in terms of your one-to-one relationships and your family or home. Is there something going on in your home that is bringing about some kind of little bit of a struggle? You're going to work it out. But do remember that Mercury is also opposing Chiron, the wounded healer, in your sign, in our sign. I'm also an Aries. So what we've got going on at the moment is we are being reminded every now and again of our deepest wounds. And our deepest wounds are very much on the surface. So even though, because we're preparing, by the way, for the universal time for us, which is next year when 7 planets go into Aries at one point. Neptune's leaving Aries and going back into Pisces this month. We have, so much intensity around our sign. I think it's great that Chiron is in Aries now to help us deal with those wounds. So when our true power rises, which actually should already be happening, and for me it is a little bit, but also I am dealing with my wounds, and I no doubt it's the same for you. But we need to deal with those wounds so that we can move on to have all our power for this incredible next stage, not only in our life, but in humanity as a whole. It is that full on. And we are being primed to be courageous ourselves and encourage other people to be courageous. We're the fearless ones. And even though you might not feel it now, because Chiron's making you feel like, vulnerable, and things may come up from the past to haunt you, or you may feel patterns are coming up, or people are popping up that's kind of reminding you of your pain. Honestly, this month you can sort a lot of that out. Now, on top of that, Venus is opposing the North Node, which at the moment is in your feeling of, what is my destiny? And the North Node is saying to you, you have to believe in something more than day-to-day reality. You have to believe in your magic. You have to believe that the universe is multidimensional, that the universe can bring you things and bring twists of fate that are going to lead beyond your wildest expectations. It's asking you to place trust in something far greater than what you can know or see. And also in that part of your soul that can create and transform your life. Now, if anybody's been telling porcupines or not being honest with you, you're clearing the way of these people, and you've probably noticed that for some time. You're letting go of people who aren't authentic, and you really want to be the best that you can be. That's also very important, particularly when Venus opposes the North Node, that you're very honest with yourself, but you're not too self-critical. Don't be a downer on yourself. It's very important that you have your courageous, impulsive, and beautiful fiery spirit this month. And Mercury's entering Scorpio, and it's making you sizzling and charismatic and deep. You can look at someone and you can know their true motives. You can sense what's going on. Do not be too sharp with that tongue, though, because you can see people's vulnerability. You might, if somebody's like cross with you, you're in an argument, you could say something as, it's too deep. It's too deep, darling. So just be nice, play nicely, because the power is yours this month, and you can wield that power in a velvet glove. Now, the full supermoon in Aries is just making everything in your life feel extreme. So plan for that energy. When there's a full moon and it's a peak experience, we need to plan for it so we know what we're going to do with that vibe. Otherwise, it can hijack us. Something from our unconscious can come up, or we can wake up from a dream and the dream almost feels real. You know what I'm saying? It's important that you uplift and that you plot that you're going to climb aboard that full moon and rev with that engine of the lunar energy, and off you go. Okay. Mercury is also square Pluto during this moon, so there may be some kind of power struggle, potentially about a group of people within a network of yours, but it's connected to not just you, and you're feeling very primal about the situation. Turn it to your good. Use that power by going deep and not playing into the obvious. You know what we're like. If we're angry, we can just play into the obvious, we explode, and then that's it, you know? We can play, and it makes it very easy because people can like wind us up so that we lose our temper. Thankfully, I think every time I say I've outgrown that, about once a year, once every 2 years, that happens. So never say never, but it's a weakness of ours. And Chiron is bringing out the weaknesses. So make sure that you are calm and you're grounded. But, you know, I think Mercury in Scorpio is going to help. Scorpios are friends, really. So what else? Venus is going into our opposite sign, but guess what? That's good for us, because what it does is it's the best time of the year for our relationships. We want balance, we want harmony. We're very prepared to compromise, which might not normally be the case. Well, I do, because I've got a lot of Pisces. Don't know about you. How are you at compromising and apologizing? Very important to compromise and apologize and find, most importantly, the middle ground. Well, you're doing that naturally this month. Venus is opposing Neptune just before Venus goes back into Pisces. I'll get to that in a minute. So you might feel like there's some really deep spiritual messages coming through about your relationships and your identity in relationships. It's very deep. Pluto goes direct. You may have been haunted by the past, to do with past groups of people, past experiences. You might be thinking about your school days. You might be thinking about a place you worked. You might be thinking about how you used to be online compared to how you are now. Anything to do with connecting to, you know, a group. And now it's going forward. You can find your group, you can find your place, you can transform how people perceive you online, for instance, or in a group or at work. And it's a very positive energy. You're very tuned in to community anyway with Pluto direct. With Venus trine Uranus and Venus trine Pluto, there are changes afoot for all of us. And you are making some changes in your one-to-one relationships, whether it's friendships, whether it's a business partnership, whether it's a lover, anyone you have the one-to-one with. But the Grand Air Trine, which happens on the same day as Pluto goes direct, Venus trines Uranus and Pluto, we have the Grand Air Trine, we have the kite, we have the mystic rectangle. So it gives us something which is very useful. We're rising above the situation and we're seeing things as they are. Not with our fiery, raw emotion, but objectively, we're looking down with we're like the kite flying, and we can see everything that maybe when we're in it, we can only see what's in front of us or what we're feeling. And the mystic rectangle always delivers a powerful message. The moon is involved in this mystic rectangle, which I welcome. And for you, it is about your place in the world, your place in community, as well as your happiness and your friskiness. There is a lot of friskiness this month, should you want it as well, by the way. What else? The new moon is in opposite sign of Libra, but it's a great opportunity for you to transform your intimate relationships. If you're not in a relationship and you want to manifest one, excellent moon for that. If you're in a relationship and you want to take it to the next level, fabulous news. If you're in a relationship and you've had enough and you want to leave, then is the time. You're able to really let go on that new moon. It is square Jupiter, but, squares are always, as far as I'm concerned, and not always, not always bad, and particularly when Jupiter's involved, it's a challenge, but Jupiter gives you big rewards. And there may be some conversation about home and family on that new moon and changes there. Neptune leaves our sign and goes into Pisces. How have you found Neptune in Pisces? To be honest with you, I haven't made up my mind yet. How have I found it? Not really sure. Well, I don't know. I haven't said that. I think I have made some of my dreams come true. And I'm no longer fearful of doing things. For instance, should you be around. I'm doing the Mind, Body and Spirit Festival in November, and I haven't done anything like that for years, but I'm doing it because I'm putting myself out there, which is what, and making my dreams come true, or putting my spirituality out there individually. And I think whatever your dream is, you have the courage to go for it with Neptune in our sign. And it's there for whatever, 10, 11 years. So happy days. There's a lot for us to get on with. And it's very enlightening as well, as long as we don't lose ourselves in the pleasures of life, which is the danger with Neptune, because it likes to get lost in sex, drugs, rock and roll. Anyway, I digress. When it goes back into Pisces, you've got to think about before, the 11 years or 10 years before was probably very magical and spiritually illuminating for you. You probably felt very vulnerable, soft. Maybe you had some deep emotional connections. Maybe you had some weird magical stuff happening. Maybe you met people and you felt you'd known them for eternity. Anyway, that's coming back for the final season, and it's going to be a big one. It's huge. And it's saying to you, trust your magic, trust your softness, don't blur boundaries, whatever you do, and I will give you a big magical gift with a cherry on top by January. Happy days. Also, Mars, our ruler, is trine Jupiter. Very good. And it's helping you come into your power and deal with some stuff to do with home and family. Also, financial resources, money, power, and you feel confident in yourself. Lots of healing going on for us this month. With Mercury entering Sagittarius, we are actually, by the end of the month, very jolly, very carefree, very adventurous, very bold, and able to speak our truth and do our own thing, which we quite like to do. And there's some unexpected news on the 29th as Mercury opposes Uranus. And also Mercury is sextile Pluto on the 30th. So it looks like we're going on an adventure. I'll let you know where I'm going. You let me know where you're going, but it's all very exciting. Anyway, take care, gorgeous. Please subscribe if you haven't. It's so helpful to me. Like, write a comment. All of this stuff, boosts things more than you can ever know. And I really heartfelt mean thank you. Speak to you soon, gorgeous. So why do we at Michele Knight give you a 5-minute, no questions asked guarantee? Well, our psychics are some of the very best in the world. They are handpicked. They have 5 rigorous test readings, the final one with me, and I require very detailed information, things they couldn't possibly know just by looking at Google or social media. We want you to be totally blown away by your reading, to feel that you've chosen a psychic who you can bond with, who gets you and gives you such specific information you feel completely reassured. If this doesn't happen within the first 5 minutes, don't be shy, just put down the phone and your minutes will be topped up or refunded. Your reading should be uplifting, full of clarity and advice, and leave you empowered to make the right decisions for you. We want Michele Knight to be your spiritual home.